Hello, book scholars. Welcome to the channel. I apologize for missing my Friday upload schedule last week. This is the second time I've done that, but like this time, I promise I won't do it again. The reason I missed the upload was I was in the process of moving, and I also started a new job. So picking up shifts and moving boxes sort of distracted me from my favorite thing to do, which is make YouTube videos. But we're back today, and we're going to be tier ranking all of the Wheel of Time characters up to book seven or book eight through book seven. If you want to check my channel for my review on all the Wheel of Time books, I made a playlist. I'll link that up above. But yeah, so we're gonna see how I feel about the characters halfway through the series, and then maybe at the end, when I finally complete the series, about 5 years from now, we will look back and see like how these characters changed in my eyes, or if any of them stayed the same. Okay, so I adjusted the tier list a little bit just so we can get some more like accurate rankings here and switch up from like the traditional tier list format. But if we want to go ahead and get started, I for characters that I do not know yet or have not been introduced to the story yet, we'll just put in the don't know tab. But we're gonna try to rank everybody else and see what we can do. See where these characters land. So let's start Agumar. No, I'm not looking for the TV series, bro. Yeah, here we go. Oh my god, bro. What is this website? Good Morning America? Lord of Faldara. He's one of the five great captains of the Westlands. Okay, I think. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. So this guy was like the lord of like the northern lands from like the first couple books, book one and two. Cool guy. I don't remember much about him though, so I don't think I can place him higher than like C. Um, he was cool though, from what I remember. I mean, there's eight books, guys, and they're like 1,000 pages each. I don't know how I'm supposed to remember this guy, but all right. So Agonar, I'm pretty sure was one of the Forsaken that was released at the Eye of the World when Rand opened it with his chosen one abilities, and he is going in F tier. I mean, he got cooked. It was either by Rand or the tree spirit, and he's supposed to be Forsaken, and he was just knocked off like that. If it was by Rand, that's even more embarrassing because he was like a child at that point. So F tier. I mean, simply put, Alana. Do I like her character? No. But is there an interesting component to her character that I think highlights some of the deficiencies in the Aes Sedai and shows their, you know, more ruthless side that can show at times? I think that is well represented through her character, especially with her like forcefully bonding Rand, which they compare to like assaulting someone in the story, which I think is a fair comparison considering how bonding works in this series. Um, but I mean, other than that function in the story, I don't know how much she has done. I have had some few things spoiled for me on the Reddit threads of Wheel of Time, so maybe she'll be. I think she'll be more interesting in future installments. But for now, I'll probably leave her at like a solid B tier. This is. I don't. If they've been introduced yet, I don't know who they are. Yeah, I have no clue. Illuminator. That's cool, I guess. Okay, Alv Alviren. Alviren? This name sounds familiar. I believe she is the white Aes Sedai that is actually secretly head of the Black Aja. She's also the keeper of the Chronicles to Elida right now. Very interesting. She's sort of like the representation of the Black Aja in the White Tower, which is also a cool concept. The tower's already basically broken. We have the actual forces of the dark also tearing it apart, besides of the stupid Aes Sedai that try to run it. Um, I like her character. I like how she sort of can like present herself as like submissive at times, but also can be forceful when she needs to be to get her motives across. Maybe she does cooler stuff in the later books. I'd probably leave her a B for now, though. Solid B tier. There's a lot of characters. I should probably hurry up. Androl, don't know who that is. Not looking it up. Arangar is one of the Forsaken. We haven't seen much of them yet so far. So I don't know. I don't want to rank them yet because I feel like if they're actually like super cool and then I put them in like D or F, that would be embarrassing. So far, I like what Arangar has done, but I don't think there's just enough that's happened up to book 8 yet for me to rank them properly. Asmodee was cool. I like how he sort of functioned as the teacher for Rand to help him learn channeling and the many things that the male side of the one power can do. He dies. I don't know who killed him. Apparently, Robert Jordan himself said you should know by like book 5 or book 6 who killed him, and I have no idea. But I mean, B. I'd break him a solid B tier. Him and Rand's fight was sort of anticlimactic. It was sort of just like a will of powers, and then Rand won because he had the little fat statue in his pocket. That is a crazy sentence if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Avienda, I think is going to be our first selection for beer tier redheads. I really like her character. I just it kind of sucks because in some books she just like takes the background very hard. The Shadow Rising, I really liked what they were doing with her in that story. Her sort of like love is one of like the better handled romances I feel like in the story was between her and Rand. But some books, she just does nothing. And that kind of sucks. I wish they would utilize her. But when you have such a huge cast of characters, I understand sometimes characters have to take the background in certain books. This guy's also F tier. I'm pretty sure he's in the same boat as Aguilar. Got absolutely cooked at the Battle of the Eye of the World. Rand was like 16 or 18. I don't know how old they are, but he was a child. He didn't even know how to use the power yet, and lost. So F tier. I mean, yeah. Even besides the fact we've only seen them for like what 150 pages before they died, unless they are revived later. I don't know. Davram Bashir. Now this guy. Bashir is cool. Cool idea of a character, a captain from the north. We sort of get like the culture of the northern lands through his character, how they act, what their ideals are. Cool captain. Probably B though. I probably wouldn't put him higher than that. Bellal, dude, F. Forsaken are kind of phonies, honest to God. I mean, he's the guy who's like trying to trick Rand into taking Kalendor, and then he was going to steal it from him. Also gets cooked. So by Moraine, I believe Moraine throws the white liquid. It's called Bellfire. If there's Bellfire, dies. I don't. Yeah, D tier. Sorry. Next up, we have Barrelane. Barrelane's development over the course of the series is very interesting to me. At first, she's sort of painted or comes off as a, I'll just say it, like a floozy, you know. Her trying to seduce Rand in the Stone of Tear, I believe. Um, but by what I've read so far through book 7 through Crown Sword, she's become like a very formidable politician and leader for her small nation. She's avoided being conquered by local larger nations, and you can see why by her interactions and just her actions in general. These last couple books, I would put her A tier on the brink of S. A tier on the brink of S. Very interesting and cool character. Birgit, I think it's the idea of people being taken out of the dream world, putting it into the real one. That was very interesting concept. I like her relationship with Matt. Definitely puts her in the B tier area. I don't know what else would maybe push her to like an A. So I'll leave her B. Gareth Bryn, again, maybe even C, but just for his lore, we'll put him at B. He's a captain general, was for Morghast, then she got compulsed by Ravine. Sorry, guys, my cat just attacked my leg. We'll leave him B's here. Cadswan, I'm afraid to rank her because she just showed up in Crown of Swords, the book I just finished. But if I had to rank her based on this book alone, it's gotta be S tier. I mean, she actually feels threatening. Like I feel like the Aes Sedai are supposed to be painted out to appear because you hear everybody sort of like referencing her in passing, like don't mess with her, you know. So she's pretty cool. I think I think S tier is going to be a good guess of where I'll put her by the end of the series, so we'll put her there. Couladin, uh, you know, Couladin maybe B or C. B. I like how there was the plot thread that someone was also in the ale trying to vie for the dragon or the Karakarn position. I found that was interesting. Bro got killed off screen though, which is disappointing by Matt. I mean, wouldn't that have been a crazy fight scene to see? And it just happens in passing. Oh yeah, Matt killed him by the way. Um, we'll even beat here. I don't know. Looks like a Targaryen. Damon Dread. Okay. Honestly, other than like a few like pages every other book, hinting at Damon Dread making moves. I mean, maybe I'm just not intellectual enough to read the underlying plotting that Jordan's doing. We haven't got much from him yet. I feel like I don't really want to rank him yet. We'll put him in Dolnet because we know he's plotting and moving, but we haven't really seen much of him. I've seen the theory that Majram Taim is actually Damon Dread. That would be pretty cool if that was the truth. If so, definitely would go up pretty hot in the list. A, maybe S. We'll leave him in Dolnet for now. Beldomon, the boat guy? I don't know. C. No, he's a cool pirate, but he's just a cool pirate. We'll leave him as C. And I haven't heard of him since like the first couple books. So. Egwene, okay. Egwene. Egwene. Where will I put Egwene? It's got to be A. And part of me's biased because she's been here since the first book, so we've had a lot of time to establish a connection with her. Also, think it's interesting. Looking forward to see how she'll take the role of the Amerlin of the opposing rebel Aes Sedai. She also has her ale training. She's one of my least favorite, like the main cast, but I still like her a lot, so we'll leave her A. I'd say she's on at least on par with Barry Lane. Elida. Elida's pretty cool. She has the foretelling, sort of, so she can kind of see the future. And she's a future where she like rules everything. That's probably wrong. So I like that mechanic of her character. We're starting to get more of her personality as we see how she maneuvers her new role as Amerlin. I would probably put her A tier. Do I like her? No. Do I like how her character and its function in the story though? Yes, so A tier. Elaine. Elaine's probably going to be our second insert into the B tier redheads. Elaine is the daughter heir. She can make Terangral or Serangral. She can make the Angrals that the magical items that Aes Sedai can use and sometimes regular people can use in certain cases. I like how her relation with Avienda has given me has shown a side of Elaine that I actually do like a lot. That she's willing to put aside, her own desires to try to learn this other culture and how they work and try to, with the Jaito of the ale. Once again, I don't know. I don't feel like she pops out on the page that often. I mean, she's there, but I feel bad. But B tier redhead. We'll see how they handle Robert Jordan handles her character in the future. But Elias, cool character. We get to it's one of our first introductions to this different type of power that's in the world of Wheel of Time through him sort of teaching Perrin about his wolf abilities. You can talk to wolves, stuff like that. Perrin Golden Eyes. I don't know if he comes back later. He was only in that book. He only kind of played that role, so we'll leave him in C. Nah, I gotta put him B. I gotta put him B. If Coolidge's B, he has to be B. Fail. Okay, actually though, I would put fail at least B. I would say B for now. She's important. She's trying to train Perrin to be a lord and how to be a lord to his people of the Two Rivers. I enjoy that. The relationship I enjoy, not because it's a good one, because it's a bad one. They argue a lot. I would like to see in way what develops with her character later in the story, though. But for now, we'll leave her to be Galad or Galad. No, it's gotta be Galad, brother of Gawain and stepbrother to Gawain and Elaine. I like him joining the White Cloaks. That's an interesting development. He's supposed to be super handsome. He just hasn't done much yet. Though. I mean, I haven't heard of him in a while. So I think the last time we saw him was maybe in Fires of Heaven, maybe Lord of Chaos. I mean, that book is like 800 pages. So if he was in the first 100 pages, it's been at least 3 books since we've heard of him. We'll even see. Gaul is cool. He is the ale that is with Perrin and the two other ale spears that are with him. I forget their names, honest to God. Gaul's interesting, but C. I mean, yeah, it's got to be C. Love the guy, but gotta be C. Okay, Gawain will probably be our third addition to the B tier redheads. His relationship with Egwene is insane. I mean, they just dreamed about each other and fell in love. Now they're like super in love. Love at first sight, I suppose. I don't know. I thought she liked his brother at first. But we've Gawain. He has his faults, but I think that makes him a more genuine character. I can't think of any more defenses from this, so maybe he goes into C tier. Yeah, we'll put him with his brother. Sorry, demoted from B tier right has to C tier. Sorry, Godwin. Okay, Grandel again. The Forsaken. I enjoy that we get the perspectives of the Forsaken in these books, the POVs from the bad guys. I think it just increases the world building. It gives us an idea that what the bad side is also plotting, while the good is also doing their own scheming. Um, she tortures people. That fits the character. Um, yeah, well, I'm C, I guess, just based on her premise alone. Sorry, guys, my cat's been yelling. We got his balls cut off the other day. Okay, Hearn. I feel like that name's familiar. Oh, okay, he was the thief. Okay, this guy was cool, but he hasn't shown up since. The sniffer, thief taker. See, see here. Yeah, no, see, I just don't think he was present enough, or I don't remember him enough. Ingtar, I don't remember. I'm not looking it up. Don't know. Sorry, buddy. If you were in the series, you didn't stand out enough for me to remember. This little guy, Ishmael. Um. Oh! Don't stand here, Ishmael. I don't know. It was. He's cool at first, right? Because he is the central bad guy in the first 3 books. We think he's the dark one. He invades the dreams of Ren and Perrin and Matt to influence them, try to figure out who the Dragon Reborn is. That's cool. He is like an opposing force at first. Uh, I did watch a couple seasons of the show, and I've read the Reddit thread, so I'm sure he'll be like an A or S by the end. We'll keep him in don't know for now. Then, yeah, I can pause. Hold on. All right, guys. Sorry, my girlfriend just walked in to bug the hell out of me, but we're back. Don't know who this is. Drew Grady? No idea. Unless he is the one guy in the Shadow Rising with the crooked nose. He run the caravan. I don't know. No idea. Lanfear. Lanfear's got to still be alive, right? If not, though, she's pretty cool. Forsaken her like trying to influence Rand and the Great Hunt, and then by the fires of heaven, she does like a full on assault on the gang after she finds out that Avienda has taken bed with Rand al'Thor. She's been gone for a while though. I think before then, I would probably put her A tier. I think she's a really interesting character. She's definitely probably my favorite Forsaken so far. So we'll go A tier. Lan, gosh, should have been a Lan tier. Lan is really cool. That's all I could really say for his character. He's really cool. He's sort of like an Aragorn almost, secret king, like of Malachar before it or Malakir, before the Trollocs or whatever took it over. This recent book, he comes back and he gets with Nynaeve, gets married after bonded by Mirleli. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about if you've read the book, guys. Lan, he's got to be S tier. I'm sorry, Lan has to be S tier. Okay, let's move on. Sharif, don't remember. Okay, I'm assuming this is Luz Theron. Okay. Luz Theron is interesting. We're actually introduced to him on like the first couple pages of this whole series when we see him go mad with the power influenced by, I think, Damon Dread is who it was, to kill his family. Then we get to start seeing him come back more in the future through Rand and, him talking in his head. I think Luz Theron will get a super high ranking just for the whole idea of him showing the madness of the One Power through his presence, him sort of interacting with Rand. We get to see them even sort of work together at one point when Rand in Lord of Chaos has been captured by the Aes Sedai, and he sort of talks to the voice in his head, which is Luce there, and like, hey, I mean, you've known more about the power than I do. How do I get out of this box? How do I break the block they have on my power? And they work together. That was super awesome. Book 7, Luce Theron sort of goes silent in his head though, so we don't see much of him. I think so far though, I'd have to put him at least A. We'll put him at least A for now. Maybe he'll go up later in the series. I also sort of thought that Luce Theron like appeared in real life at the end of Crown of Swords when we see that random guy help Rand, like a Fight Club moment, as I've heard it referred to as. We'll leave him in A for now. Leandrin, okay, leader of the Black Aja early in the books, definitely during like book 3, this when they were in the Stone of Tyr. Um, then she gets absolutely just dehumanized by Moghidian. I'd probably leave her in. Uh, Interesting character. She's like our first introduction to like the Black Aja and a pretty like threatening person from the Black Aja. We'll leave her B tier. Logain. Logain, like Lan, is just really cool. He's not in it much. He doesn't speak much, but it's just the cool factor. Um, we see him get his powers back in book 6 when Nynaeve figures out how to fix stealing and whatever the other variation of that is for women when they get the power taken from them. But Logain, okay, now redhead. He hasn't done much though. It was super cool to see his reaction when he sees Rand in book 1 of the series, and he realizes that Rand can use the power and probably a really large amount of it. So it's probably the moment Logan found out that Rand was the Dragon Reborn. But he hasn't done much since. On cool points alone, I'll leave him in A tier. Loyal. I'd love to put Loyal in S tier. I mean, he's one of my favorites. I don't think I could put Loyal higher than B though. And that's because once again, he has that issue, the Avienda issue, where he just disappears entire books. You never hear about him. And so we don't get much time for him to develop his character, which is why I'm almost on the verge of putting him in C tier. But I just like him, so I'm putting him in B tier. Okay, I'm biased. I'm biased. B tier. Matt, Matt, we will probably put Matt in Matt tier. We'll probably put Matt in Matt tier. I think this is hilarious because if we did this ranking like after book two, I would put Matt in like F tier. I mean, he has no redeemable qualities in the first book. He's just like a turd. But by the end of book seven, like he's just I feel like he's been one character beside a few handful that's had like the most growth over the entirety of the series so far. I mean, he's sort of a formidable leader now. And he started as like a wimpy kid who would just cry and be a terrible friend. I could go on about Matt for days, but I'm sure people who are watching this video know why Matt's in Matt tier, you know. Mazrim Taim. Mazrim Taim is also cool. He's a character that sort of like Logan we hear about a lot before we meet him because he is another false dragon reborn. If he's Damon Dread, probably S. For now, I think we'll put him in A tier as well. I love that there's always that tension with him when he's around Rand because he's almost as strong as Rand, maybe the same strength. And we sort of get the idea that maybe some of the Ashaman followed Tame more as their leader than Rand at times. Uh, because Taim is the one who's with him the most. Of course, we do have a good margin of the Ashaman that are also very loyal to Rand. But I enjoy that Tame is also a figure that could possibly sway the Ashaman into doing what he wants instead of Rand. And I think that tension is just great for the story. Also, his character is just interesting to see how he reacts when he or interacts with Rand. I think that's why he gets a lot of the Damon Dread theories. It's because you can sort of see the resentment that he has towards Rand at times. And it makes us think, well, he's probably like one of the Forsaken, like Damon Dread. Masana, I believe, is one of the Forsaken. If I remember, I don't want to look up the name though. I feel like it might spoil something. We're gonna leave it adult now. Min, oh, honestly, Min would have been around CB tier before Crown of Swords. After Crown of Swords, easy A tier. She really, and from the reviews I've seen on YouTube, a lot of other Wheel of Time readers, YouTube review channels agree with this. She really does go from just Rand's girlfriend, who has a cool power like the her power. It's not foretelling, but she sort of like foretelling, but she sees the symbols and it can interpret them above people's heads. But she was really a shoulder to lean on for Rand in this last book, and even like a good advisor on trying to show him like what's the best action. Stop being depressed. Um, but yeah, no, Min easy A tier, maybe S on the brink of S. We'll leave her an A for now. Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why she's in don't know. Moghidian, okay, Moghidian. Moghidian is also uh one of my favorite Forsaken. She's incredibly intimidating. I mean, you can really there's a strong sense of tension in the story after we find out that she's been let out, which is kind of killed when we find out she's like under control of another Forsaken or Dark one, Dark member of the Dark. Who has complete control over her. When we see her just light the boat on fire that Nynaeve's in, that's pretty cool. I want to put her A, but I don't see anything else other than just her intimidation factor when she was first introduced. She's also sort of like an Asmodine in that she sort of teaches the girls of the group how to use their side of the one power. So I say if Asmodine's B, I'd probably leave Mockhidian B too. Even though Mockhidian's probably a little bit better. I'm not ranking these in the tiers either. I'm just placing them in the tier. Because I would say like Mockhidian's definitely above Alana. So Moraine, guys, I think she's actually dead. I think she's actually dead, which sucks. Moraine, though, has to be an A tier. Well, if Lance S, I think Moraine has to be an S tier character. She functions as like the wizard who comes to the small farm town village and introduces the characters to like the grander world. That's just a character trope that I really enjoy. And I like the twist on it being that she is a woman. Um, she's also not like this all good being like a Gandalf is, just a naturally like completely moral character. We see her like in Aes Sedai fashion, try to twist and turn people, manipulate them to what she believes is the best outcome, and why it probably is the best outcome that she's going for. Her means of doing it isn't necessarily the best, but I enjoy that about her character. Once again, it makes her feel more human, more fleshed out. Again, there's a lot to say about Moraine. I know some people absolutely hate her, but I think despite hating her or like her, you have to enjoy her character's place in the story and what it does for the narrative. So, S tier. Morghese, with the amount of Morghese chapters, you'd think that she would be higher, but probably B tier. Well, no, we'll put her in a B tier redhead on the same level as Elaine. I might, yeah, I would say Morghese is cool. I like the her angle of trying to survive after the compulsion and her the struggles that she's been through since. But yeah, we'll leave her be. Moradin, probably one of the Forsaken. Don't know. Narishima, no clue. Pedro Niall. I mean, C tier, maybe B, just for the fact that he's like the head commander of the Children of Light or the White Cloaks, which is it's really cool to see that position, see he what his plans are. I'm still maybe it's been revealed and told us already. And I just don't know because I'm a little slow, but I want to know what that note was, what his final plan was before he died, that he left or was trying to send out before he was murdered. But I mean, he's sort of just a guy being a dude. So I might have to leave him in C. Okay, Loyal's in B. I'll put him in B. I'll put him in B. No, no, no. C, C. I stand by that. Guys, please don't make fun of me in the comments. No idea who that is. Nynaeve, okay. Nynaeve. Of all the girls, that being Avienda, Min, Elaine, Egwene, Nynaeve is probably my favorite. I'd probably put her S tier. Again, a lot of people probably hate this character, and at times I also am pretty annoyed by Nynaeve. But then again, she is like the found mother of these kids from the two rivers. They've been taken away from their hometown. She's just trying to take care of them, make sure they're safe. Then we see her character grow from there. She's also extremely powerful, which has nothing to do with ranking her character. But I mean, S tier. Can I explain it? Maybe, but I don't want to get torn to shreds, guys, on the threads. So, but yeah, 90 is one of my favorites. Yeah, and the braid tugging too. I have took that into account. Okay, Oliver's the little boy. I mean, see, he hasn't really done much. He is sort of. We get to see more of Matt and his character grow through how he treats Oliver and his care for the little guy. But him as a character, I mean, he doesn't really do much. It's definitely Forsaken. Don't know yet. Patton Fane. Okay, this little weasel. I mean, he just seems like he's just like worming around everywhere, always scheming. Maybe later in the story he'll go higher. Patton Fane, but I'd probably leave him an A tier at this point. I really enjoy his like presence as a antagonist and sort of how he's part of the dark, but not necessarily working for them. Sort of has his own personal agenda as well. Put him A. Perrin is F. I mean, Perrin is F. No, no. Perrin. Perrin will be A tier. Again, there is sometimes where Perrin takes a major backseat, but from what I've read online, he becomes like the main character, or one of the most vocal characters in these next coming books. The ones that happen to suck. Uh, is that a coincidence? I'm not sure. Maybe. Uh, Despite I might not be the biggest fan of Perrin. I still understand his importance and what Jordan is trying to get across and achieve through his character. So, and I really like the strife that Perrin had in the earlier books between him and his wolf side. And they haven't really hit on that much. Then again, he hasn't been on the page much. So I think for now we'll leave him in A. Could go up. Could go up though. Probably will go up. No idea. Ravine. Ravine was cool for when he was on the screen. I like him and Rand's final battle scene. I think it's one of the better ones between Rand and the Forsaken. He ends up eventually killing at the end of every book. Um, so he's better than a Bel-Al, but he's not like a Lanfear or a Moghidian or an Asmodine. I'd probably leave him at C. Yeah, Rand. Okay, Rand. Rand's probably B tier redheads. Yeah, Rand's probably S tier redheads. Rand is my favorite character. Maybe I have main character syndrome. I don't know. I have a YouTube channel, so I probably do. I love the layers of his character. I love Jordan's unique perspective and take that he has on the Chosen One arc. It's a I've heard multiple YouTubers say that it's like the most accurate portrayal of what a Chosen One would do. I like that he has slips sometimes in doing the right thing in his morality. I like that he makes the wrong decision sometimes and gets captured. He's not perfect, even if he is, the chosen one meant to save the world. And sort of how Jordan talks about his strife with facing his fate and how to deal with that, sort of like Apollo Trades. Yeah, it's just S tier, and he's just super cool. So Ruark, Ruark, I'd say like B tier. Yeah. I mean, if Loyal, Burgett, Gareth Bryn are B tier, then I feel like Ruark should be B tier as well, at least. Samuel, what a loser. Samuel's cool. We get some perspectives from him, especially in the book that he ends up dying. Guys, if you haven't read these books, please don't watch this video. But Samuel, yeah, we see him trying to manipulate what's her name? Savannah for his own schemes. We see him in earlier books too, sort of get the upper hand on Grandel, and her eventually following him in his footsteps. On the ride to be like the anointed one of the dark side. But then he just dies by fog. Maybe he can come back and raise his ranking. But right now, I'm probably leaving him a C tier. No, he has good lore though. Okay, B. But he did go out like a chump though. I will say that. Simir Haj, Forsaken, but I just don't know enough about her yet, honestly, to give a proper ranking. Savannah, leader of the Ale. I like this character for the sole fact that we get to see the repercussions of what happens to the Ale who lost in Dumai's Wells. She's also, we get to see her being a very scheming, manipulative person, trying to attach herself to a partner that will give her a lot of power. I think that's also interesting. I mean, if Leandrin's B tier, I feel like Savannah has to be B tier as well. Harn, that's like that one Myrdral that's like souped up. I don't know. Do we get to know more about him? If not, I'd leave him probably in C tier just for like the idea that he can be a Meadrill that's like intelligent or can speak. Maybe we'll get more of him later on though, and I'll raise his ranking. Swan. Swan's pretty interesting. Former Amberlin gets stilled, loses her powers, gets them back. Now she's sort of counseling Egwene how to be the Amberlin. I'd definitely put Swan A tier. Definitely. I need to read New Spring, the prequel. Maybe that'll reveal more about her character, raise her a little bit. So Relay, we get to see a lot about ale culture through her and how they sort of treat Rand, how they perceive him. She's also intimidating. I don't know. She might be the one that can barely use the power at all, but she's the leader, and we get to see like what makes a good leader. What are the qualities of leadership? Maybe it's not just how physically strong you are. So I'll put her in S tier. Should I put her in S tier? I'll put her in A tier. Yeah, she's an A tier character. Okay, Slayer. I remember Slayer, or I think Perrin like shot him or something. He like ran out of town. I haven't seen much of him yet though. He was this cool sort of figure that did create tension within the story because he's in the dream world. He's like killing the wolves. What's happening? But then he leaves. We'll leave him C tier. Maybe B, but I should probably wrap this video under an hour. So Talonvor, I don't know, probably C so far. He's loyal to his queen. Morgaze kind of has a crush on him. No. Talmanes. Oh, you know. Okay, so this is one of the generals, but I was really thinking of Nail Sean. I'm sad he's not on here, but I didn't make the tier list. If I wasn't lazy, he would be on here. But Talmanes, he's a captain. Uh, Formidable general. He's like the cavalry guy. I think he just thinks if you send enough horses, you can win. I have a feeling he's going to go up in later books. I actually read a spoiler once, and I don't know if it was true or not, or if like a joke. But if it's true, I would like to do a good reread of the story. I'll leave him as C tier for now. Yeah, C tier. We'll put him B. We'll put him B. We'll put him B. Okay. Tam Althor, Rand's dad. He has pretty cool lore about how he came across Rand, became his dad. We just haven't learned much about him after that, though. Honestly, first book. Well, yeah, we'll put him B tier because I do enjoy in the first book how he sort of signifies Rand having. It's just the first step in him becoming the chosen one is him leaving his town, leaving his father, and going on that journey. Um, okay, when he comes back later, he's a blade master. We'll even B just because Rand's S tier. Thom Maryland. Tom Maryland. Anytime a character enters an inn in this story, there's about a 65% chance that Tom Maryland is in the inn. But once again, like Loyal and Avienda, Tom will just be disappearing in massive chunks of these stories. And just doesn't get touched on at all. Well, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. They don't address his character. He doesn't do much. But if Loyal's B, he's got to be B. So don't know. Maybe Tuan's been brought up yet. I don't know. Uno, Varen. Okay. Tylan, the queen, assaults Matt basically. I don't know. She's the queen, but I mean, other than her and her little love affair with Matt, I don't know what else she like does in the story. I'm just gonna leave her to see, I guess. Uno. I remember Uno. Uno was probably C. I mean, cool factor, maybe he gets bumped up to B. I don't remember him doing much, honestly. Is Mossam on here? The prophet? Okay. Last but certainly not least, Varen. Varen, listen, guys, I've come across a spoiler or two in my life on this series. We're gonna end off this video putting Varen in S tier. That's all needs to be said. All right, guys, that will conclude the Wheel of Time character tier ranking tier list through halfway through the series. I would like to come back and after I finish the story and re-rank these characters. Maybe come look at this list, see how they were, how they've changed since I finished the series. But yeah, that'll be all for today. Sorry for the longer video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next Friday.